Alright, so I decided to make some shima with katapa and canned sardines. So I started off by plucking the katapa from the stems. After the katapa was all plucked up, it was time to go to Pound Town. So I borrowed my neighbor's pestle and mortar and got to pounding. Initially, it was really tricky because I went in guns blazing. I was pounding hard and fast and the katapa kept flying out of the vending. I tried covering part of it with my hand as I pounded and it helped a little bit. I successfully pounded the first load, but I had lost a bunch of it. I tossed in the next load and got to pounding again. I was using the same strategy and it kept on flying out. I eventually figured out it was much better to go easy and slow with just a little bit of force. It takes a bit longer for the katapa to get pounded, but it prevents it from flying out. I eventually pounded the portion that I needed and it was time to cook. I lit up a brazier, put the pot on and added the katapa. I then poured in some water until it was just above the katapa. I put a lid on it and left it to cook. After about 40 minutes of cooking, I decided to add more charcoal and fill the pot up with more water. After about 30 minutes, the water had reduced again, so I poured in more. After about 2 hours 40 minutes of tending to the charcoal and the water levels, the katapa had softened to my liking, so I added some diced tomatoes and onions, some cooking oil, a bit of salt, and I left it to cook for another 20 minutes. Now, the person that I consulted on this recipe told me to add canned sardines to the katapa at this point, but it was my first time cooking katapa, so I didn't want to compromise the taste. So I decided to just warm it up and have it side by side. The sardines all warmed up. I went to check on the katapa and it was good to go. I plated the meal and it was time to eat. It tasted pretty standard. Not the most technically difficult thing to cook, but extremely time consuming. I'm really happy I tried it though.